IGN's Up at Noon, brought to you by Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Available on October 29th. Pre-order today.
Previously on Up at Noon.
Greg, we forgot to shoot a previously on for Up at Noon.
What if this was the previously on?
This right here, us forgetting to do the previously on.
Yeah.
That's the previously on.
Uh-huh.
That's the stupidest idea for a previous.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Up at Noon. Nearly 100 episodes in, and yup, we are still barely even trying. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a graphic novel turned video game kind of show? True believers? Excellent. Because this comic book guy is ready to deliver. First, Brian Altano is back and claiming to be a changed man now that he's engaged. I can't believe it either. Then, Telltale Games' Dennis Lenart and Nick Herman are here to talk about being co-directors on Wolf Among Us and hopefully spill some details on The Walking Dead, the game, Season 2. But first, news you care about. Grand Theft Auto Online launched last week to a ton of problems affecting people everywhere. Now, the open world game experienced a shutdown leading to nearly 800,000 players unable to work. Nationwide closings of parks, zoos, and museums, a temporary freeze on small business loans, an estimated $55 billion national economic cost, and the perpetuation of the never-ending vocal war between an archaic two-party political system that would rather drag an entire country to its doom than agree on the most basic of human needs, healthcare. I'm sorry, that happened in America. That was an American thing. In GTA, some high school kids had trouble getting online to pretend to parachute together. Nintendo has launched a Wii U campaign with Tesco stores in the UK in order to raise awareness for the struggling system. All right, Nintendo, while we're throwing around awareness campaigns here, what the is a Tesco? Is it like an ASDA? Because it sounds like a gas station or a cooking oil or the guy that made the thong song. Never forget, everybody. That thong, I like it when the beat go. Trying to make the booty go. It was great. I was in college. I'm old. KJ Inafune's Mega Man-inspired game Mighty No. 9 made nearly $4 million on Kickstarter. When reached for comment, a Capcom representative said, Despite a strong push, Dennis Dyak's crowd-funded psychological horror game Shadow of the Eternals has been put on indefinite hold after the financial backing from fans didn't reach its goal. Now, this just goes to show you that if you're a game developer looking for a huge audience and a big push to get your game funded, do not come on Up at Noon. We are so sorry, Dennis. We thought we were doing the right thing, did the wrong thing. Like I Am Legend, underrated movie. Underrated movie, remember? Thought they were curing cancer. Yeah. Nope, making zombies. 41 people in China have been killed by giant deadly hornets over the past 3 months. No joke there. Just a reminder that your life is short, so maybe stop spending it calling each other gay in the comments because you could be stung to death by biblical nightmare monsters at any given f***ing moment. And finally, our own Up at Noon lead writer got engaged last week. One more time. Love you, Brian. To prove that he's ready for a big step, here is IGN's Brian Altano. Brian!
Wow. Jeez. This will be fine. Thank you, Greg. Getting engaged is a lot like being a fanboy for a video game. You make one big decision out of love and innocence when you're young, and then you vow to stick with that decision for years and years, despite how terrible things might get. And I've been there, Greg. It means I know how to stick with something through thick and thin, through darkness and the light, no matter what type of stupid bullshit she throws at me. Because deep down I know her heart is in the right place, even when she acts like a crazy psychopath that doesn't make no goddamn sense. Nintendo. Yeah, that's right. In many ways, I got engaged when I was 5 years old. Her name was Nintendo, and she was my first love. She knew how to show me fun in ways nobody else knew how. That's not supposed to sound as gross as it does, I swear. I was young and innocent. We did everything together, and it was the greatest time of my life. But then all my friends got old, and they stopped thinking Nintendo was hot. So me and Nintendo started fighting. You never change, I yelled to her. We've been doing the same thing for 25 years, and I'm getting bored in the bedroom. You used to play games with my heart. Now you barely have any games at all. Where are the games, Nintendo? Where are the games? Where are the robust online multiplayer functionality and the healthy offering of exclusive third-party titles such as Titanfall and the beloved Uncharted franchise? And Nintendo said, baby, come back to bed. You're getting so worked up over this. Plus your metaphors are terrible. And that's when I realized it wasn't Nintendo's fault for not changing. Nintendo was the same company I've always loved. It was the world that changed. But it wasn't the world I wanted to marry. It was Nintendo. Oh, and my fiance.
Brian Altano, everybody. Man, some things never change. Speaking of never changing, Greg Way! My next guest better not change what made Telltale's The Walking Dead game such a success. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the director of Wolf Among Us. The first two people ever on Up at Noon, Dennis Lenart and Nick Herman. As I live and breathe, Nick and Dennis, we have too many people. We've never had two guests. What? How do I come down like this?
This is good. This is good.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's a new thing.
Nick, Dennis, how you guys doing?
Good.
Good, thanks.
Never had two guests at the same time on Up at Noon. It's our first threesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, we're like touching toes here.
I was
This
going
is
to say,
good.
it's a little bit of a problem.
Just trying to be symmetrical.
Oh, there we go. Good. Yeah.
So, what makes you guys so special that you think you can be here? You're the first ever double interview on Up at Noon. I don't like this one bit.
We're just amazing together.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we
Which will now
suck when you
prove.
It's like the Indiana Jones, the movie everyone forgets about, with the 3 stones, but we're 2 stones. We got to be together to glow, you know.
Yeah.
Please get shirts that say "Gotta be together to glow." Wear them around the Telltale off. You guys are working on this Wolf Among Us.
Yes.
That's cool. This is a big deal. This is a big game for you. This is obviously coming out of the Fables universe. Lay it out for people who have no idea what the hell we're talking about, though.
Cool, yeah. So yeah, we're doing a season premiere of a game called The Wolf Among Us, based on, like you said, the comic book Fables. And it's about, or the comic book's about these characters that you think you know, like Snow White and Little Mermaid and all those Fables. And they're brought out of sort of forced out of their homelands, and they're living in New York City. And they're sort of hiding from all the normal people, and they wear these things called glamours to make them look like humans. Like Mr. Toad obviously looks like a frog, can't walk around down the street. In our game, you play as Big B Wolf, who is the big bad wolf from the 3 Little Pigs and Little Red Riding Hood, and he's the sheriff of Fabletown. So he's sort of keeping everyone safe and protected from each other, from the other people or the humans, and we're a prequel too. So we sort of get to tell that story of how he becomes the sheriff, and he was the bad guy, and now he's sort of forced to be the good guy, and how that works with everyone else.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's good too. I mean, since obviously it's an interactive story. So as Bigby, you have this past that you're coming in with, and again, blowing down the 3 Little Pigs' houses, and now you can sort of choose how you want to play him in this new world where he's got all these responsibilities, being the sheriff of Fabletown, but at the same time, you want to role play with these characters too. So sometimes you're in situations where it's, do I do the right thing for Fabletown, or do I do the right thing for these characters I like? And it's an interesting dynamic.
So when you guys set out to make this game, even though it's a prequel, did you feel, I don't want to say pigeonhole, but like you have to get the story to a certain point, right?
Sure.
People do know this character.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that was something cool to work with, or something really not cool?
I mean, it's super cool.
How many times can we say cool in this interview?
Yeah, we obviously we know where the comic book starts, and we get to play with how we get there. So that's obviously exciting. But I mean, we're doing a lot of things. We're using characters from the book, like Snow White. I mean, even Mr. Toad, who plays a pretty big part in our season, is in like one frame of the comic. So like we're picking up characters that were in the comic, that weren't in the comic, and we can sort of play with these new fables. And I can't even really talk about them because it's going to spoil the season. But we do a lot of really cool stuff with characters you think you know. And what's cool about, I think, the franchise in general is like these fairy tales are actually really, really up. Like the Little Mermaid. Everyone thinks they know the Little Mermaid, but the original story is like she gets legs, but like it feels like she's walking on daggers, and the prince makes her dance, and like and then she dies and explodes into sea foam.
Damn, son.
It's pretty messed
Spoiler,
up.
sorry.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was almost done.
Yeah. But so we get to sort of bring that arc back into the messed up and like this really dark and gritty world, and they're living in our world too, so they have real problems. It's not like, oh, the prince doesn't like me, it's like I can't pay my mortgage. So it's this weird,
Just riveting video game.
Yeah.
I can't pay my mortgage.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like Tax Act 2014. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, too, and at the same time, too, like, I mean, doing a prequel was really cool because, I mean, we don't want to just retell the same story that the books are doing, and I think there's going to be a lot of fun surprises for people who know the books or know, the original fable, fairy tales, whatever, that now they're going to kind of see a different light of these characters, and we get to get them to the point where then you recognize them in the books. And so it's really fun, like in story meetings and stuff, coming up with, a messed up version of the already messed up fairy tale.
Right. Episodic structure for this, same kind of gameplay mechanics. What are you getting into?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a lot of the same. It's at its core, it's a lot like Walking Dead. You're going to be making choices. You're going to be, having to sort of, I don't like saying manage relationships because it sounds like some weird simulator, but it is sort of like the choices you make aren't, they're more about like choices you make in life, and it's how is this going to affect the people you care about or the people you don't care about, and are you going to be a dick, or are you going to be cool, and that sort of really affects how people think of you. But I think we wanted to make sure that this game had its own identity, and we sort of took the core of what we loved about Walking Dead and what everyone else seemed to respond, and we said, okay, we're doing that, but let's also push everything else as far away as possible. Like we're going to push the art, into this sort of dark, it's we know what era it's in, sort of in this pre-Giuliani New York. Really dark, gritty, but these beautiful colors. We're going to push the music.
For all the young
to
people, that means New York was bad. There was a lot of sex happening in Times Square. You didn't want to walk around Times Square. No ESPN zone. We were getting close to the WWF restaurant, though.
But yeah, I mean, at the same time, to continue off that, too, it's like, the Walking Dead is just dark and bleak, and that's oddly the charm of that game.
Yeah.
Whereas, in this one, I think the actual gameplay experience and the feel of it mimics the art style a lot, where it's dark and gritty, but there's also these vibrant colors that pop. And that's sort of the fun difference with this, in Walking Dead is like, say with Walking Dead, it's, we try to make you care about these characters and then make you wish you didn't care about these characters after all the stuff we drag you through.
Yeah.
But in this one, we make you care about these characters, also have this role of Bigby, has a lot, like there's a really cool plot to this game and a really interesting story. And so now you're kind of balancing between like, how do I make this choice because this character is influencing what I want to do, but also I have a job to do, and so it's an interesting dynamic. Whereas in Walking Dead, it was a lot more of the plot. It's like, well, get to Savannah, but the characters are what's really driving the interaction. So,
all right. You talked a lot about how it plays. You actually brought a clip.
We did.
We're gonna get to see how it plays. This is for you and the real audience too. I know I usually screw you out of these clips. We're gonna show you something today.
Want me to set it up?
Sure.
Yeah, it's
I don't know. Look at what you want to talk about it too.
The marketing guy's going. So this is the beginning of the game. It's in our demo that you played, and so Bigby has got a call from Mr. Toad. He shows up, and there's been a disturbance, and you're sort of investigating what's going on. And you walk into the woodsman's apartment, and they have some history.
Oh yes, they do. They do. Mm-hmm. All right then. The Wolf Among Us.
Hey!
You've got something on your face.
You stupid cur. I'll f***ing kill you! Alright, what's going on here? Gotta calm down. Go f*** yourself. You should probably get out of here.
Look, I'm not leaving until I get what's
You
mine.
broke my jaw, you bastard! And still you talk.
At least they didn't resort to violence to settle their problems.
Oh, man.
So it looks really good. I played it, like you said, at PAX, I believe now. It all runs together, and it plays really well. Like I told you guys before, for me, the comic book never clicked. I'm a big comic book guy. I was never a big fairy tale person. I don't this Disney stuff. Get out of here with your Aladdins and whatnots. But the game itself, I really already started to really, really enjoy just being that character, seeing the story evolve. Like you seem like you're on the right path.
Yeah, it's fun actually, and as shown in that clip too, like Big B gets a lot of great lines. Lee kind of always had to be like dark and serious, but that's one of the fun things about this world too, is like not only are the characters really fun and cool to interact with, but you also get some really great lines, and there's like a great comedic flair to this dark and gritty world that makes it really interesting.
He can sort of swing, even in the comics, he swings from being like the grim, like hard-nosed detective to being like the sarcastic jackass, and like we have that sort of option with him that we didn't have with Lee, and you can play it however you want to play it. So that's cool. It's been a lot of fun.
So when's it come out? That's the big question.
That is the big question. We don't have anything to announce right now, but we know it's soon.
Super soon.
It's like super soon.
Super
when we
soon.
say soon, and we don't mean like soon. We mean like soon.
Okay.
So, it's coming out. And actually, we have something for you.
What do you got?
We got just a little get you excited. This is Buffkin.
He's a little monkey. He's a flying monkey.
He's from the land of Oz.
He joins me now on the table.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you're a Dave Fennoy mug.
Well, this is my Ashley Johnson mug. Dave Fennoy is constantly anchored to that
Only
thing.
for that, okay.
If you would have brought a mug, you would have been anchored here, but now you brought this, you're anchored here. Right. We're just filling it with tchotchkes. No, you did good. I'm saying this is good.
Oh,
you did a good job. You're always promoting the game now. Always be promoting. Or always be yelling. Either way, you got it. So, now you guys mentioned that you worked on that there, The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. You guys put out that 400 days thing. You said it's going to bridge seasons 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. Where's season 2? Still waiting on that. What's happening with that guy?
It's coming pretty soon. We're
pretty soon. Pretty soon.
You didn't say soon.
No,
yeah, you didn't give like the soon. You said very soon. Okay.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, we're hard working on developing right now. Like I said, with Telltale, we won't release it till it's right, and so there's always this constant iteration. I mean, even during season 1, there was talk of season 2 and kind of where we wanted to take it from there. So it's a thing that we've actually all been super excited about and thinking about for a long time now. So it's actually fun to finally see that being made.
Well, what's cool too about this is I'm pretty sure we're on track for having it come out sort of in the same zone as The Wolf Among Us. So we'll have like 2 titles sort of cycling. It'll be like the Telltale channel,
of episodic content.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you we didn't talk about this, I guess. For Wolf, are you trying to stick to the same kind of schedule as where it's kind of like a month and a half, 2 months to have an episode out?
Yeah, that's
again, when it's done. I'm not going to come after you, Dennis. Calm down. But now speaking of when it's done. No. So what are your roles right now for Walking Dead then? We know you're co-directing Wolf Among Us. What's happening for Walking Dead for you guys?
So I'm currently directing the first episode of season 2.
Okay.
Hey.
You have one fan. One fan is ready for it.
Everyone else is like...
Sold 1 copy. And Nick will be doing a lot of stuff on it too.
Thanks, Dennis.
Hey.
You got a promotion.
Currently unannounced. But yeah, it's going to be good. There's a lot of good stuff. Actually, my dream is to watch you play certain scenes in this because I think
you
it's
can
gonna
come
be
to my
intense.
house and watch that happen. Come right now.
We don't want you to know we're watching though. That's like
that's weird.
Yeah.
Now you're weird. But with the Kinect always on, I'm sure. Is it hard writing for Clementine this season?
I don't know.
Well, no. Actually, it's Lee. You're playing as a robot.
Oh yeah.
So you
That's
find out he
revealed.
actually didn't die.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Spoiler. Sorry.
All right. Well, I like that quite a bit. Telltale, it's been around for a while now. I know you're working on 2 games now. You're kind of busy. What do you see as your guys' future? Do you want to keep doing other people's properties? Do you want to do original adventure games? Where do you see this all going?
I think we don't even sort of ask ourselves that. It's more about like what is out there that we want, and then I think when we find stuff when we run out of those things, I think it's going to be like, well, should we do something ourselves? We're just motivated by like good stories and good characters.
Yeah, it's the problem now is that we keep finding so many different licenses that we want to make games out of, and I mean our forums are always full of people suggesting the 1,000 games we should do.
Invincible.
Yeah.
Toss it out there.
Hey,
You already know Robert
let's
Kirkman.
go,
Seems
man.
like it'd be pretty. Or the Up at Noon adventure game. Will Brian find his vodka?
Oh, man. Play the marriage as it evolves.
Nick Scarpino's mother-in-law will remember this. It's a joke just for the audience. Sorry about that. You're fine now. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Wolf Among Us out very soon.
No.
Soon.
And then Walking Dead Season 2 out soon.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be good.
All right, well, give me a Woe Bundy and we'll leave. Remember, nobody else watching?
Oh, good.
There we
No,
go.
I think it's got to be feet.
Feet.
I think we got to do feet.
All right.
Good call.
Woe Bundy! That's our show, everybody. A huge thank you to Brian Altano, Dennis Leonard, Nick Herman, and you, my audience. If you want to be in that audience, go.ign.com/Up at Noon for details. As always, Brian and I will be responding to comments the first hour this video is live, so come tell us why you're excited about The Wolf Among Us. I'm pumped because I bet it's another easy platinum trophy. And that's the only reason to play games. Am I right? We'll be what? No? Why do you think I put the gloves on, Nick? You're next. We'll be back next Monday with Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5, Stephen Ogg, and former Chicago Bear Hunter Hill. Is this real? This is the show next week? Okay. Former Chicago Bear Hunter Hillmeyer. But until then, I'm going back to bed.